I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Emily Graham. Emily Graham is Vice President of Regulatory Affairs at Heart Health Strategies in Washington, D.C. She has served as the Assistant Dean and Program Director for Health Information Management and Clinical Data Coding Programs at Northern Virginia Community College Medical Education Campus. She continues to serve as an adjunct faculty member for that university, for that college campus, as well as for the Office of National Coordinators Community College Consortium. Prior to her time in academia, Ms. Graham served for 7 years as the Associate Director of Regulatory Affairs for the American Society of Cataract and Refractive Surgery Specialists, where she focused on a variety of regulatory issues that she's carried forward to today. These issues include Medicare physician reimbursement, Medicare's quality improvement initiatives, and advancements in health information technology. She had regular dealings with representatives of the Department of Health and Human Services, including Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Health Information Technology, and Regulatory Committees for the Alliance of Specialty Medicine, and as a staff liaison to the American Medical Association's Current Procedural Terminology, CPT, editorial panel, and the Relative Value System Update Committee, the RHIA Committee, the National Quality Forum, the Surgical Quality Alliance, and the AQA Alliance. Ms. Graham has held positions with American Academy of Otolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery, as a practice management coordinator where she focused on coding and reimbursement issues. She has also held positions in acute care hospital billing office and in a physician practice. She is the immediate past president of the District of Columbia Health Information Management Association. She's previously served as secretary and legislative liaison for a project manager at DCHMIMA. She obtained her Bachelor of Science degree at HIM from Stevens College and is a student at the George Washington University School of Business, where she is now currently working towards a health-focused Master's of Business Administration. Please welcome Emily Graham. She's going to give us a very important update on the state of rheumatology care and legislative issues and regulatory updates. Emily?
Thank you so much for inviting me to come and speak to all of you guys today. I wish I could say that I was coming with really exciting news, and I'm sorry that the sun isn't shining right now because you'd probably rather be outside on the beach frolicking in the sand than listening to some of the depressing news that I bring from Washington. I don't have any disclosures other than I had a great flight on Delta. Oh, good, everyone's laughing. That makes me feel a whole lot better because this is what you guys have to digest. Hopefully I can help you digest it just a little bit better, or at least, if nothing else, understand it a little bit better. So the Affordable Care Act brought a slew of changes for medicine. And this is the kind of crazy maze that I have to deal with on a daily basis as my full-time career. But for all of you trying to practice medicine, run your practices, see your patients, engage in educational symposia such as this, you also have to know these things as well as your administrative staff in your practices. So I hope you have some Xanax. This is a timeline of some of the changes. I'm not going to get into any kind of great detail on this, but this is just to show you that there is a lot of the changes that are coming over the next several years, and it could change with respect to the Supreme Court ruling. So anyway, we'll get into some of those issues. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the legislative issues because, as you saw from my title, I'm really more of a regulatory affairs professional. I'm going to get into more of the nuts and bolts issues of the things that you guys are dealing with in your actual practices. But we will talk a little bit about the SGR, we'll talk about the IPAB, we'll talk about private contracting. When it gets into the regulatory side, we'll talk a little bit about I-10, version 5010, and a slew of these other regulatory issues. And then last but not least, I will talk just a little bit about what's going on with respect to the Supreme Court's look at the PPACA. So legislative, starting with the sustainable growth rate. So this is the last really cool picture that I have. But whenever I think about the sustainable growth rate, this is what I see. A really big, scary beast and a little small group of doctors that have yet to be able to get this SGR problem solved. Again, I'm not going to bore you with all the history. I think everyone in this room probably knows what the SGR is. You know that it's flawed. So I think we'll just start with 2012. As you know, in the Medicare Physician Fee Schedule rule, CMS called for a